ago this morning, just before 9 a.m., the unthinkable occurred. In a horrific flash, September 11th went from being just another day on the calendar to be a defining day in our nation's history. A day of infamy, but also a day of heroism and courage. A day of national unity in the face of terror. A day that forced us to re-examine our priorities and renew who we are as a nation. 15 years later, and it's still almost incomprehensible. America, the victim of an unprecedented attack of war on its own soil. Since then, we've unfortunately witnessed additional terrorist attacks in other parts of the world, including Canada, France, the United Kingdom, Africa, the Middle East, and Asia. The perpetrators of these attacks mean to change our free and our open American society for the worse and alter how we interact and treat one another. We cannot and we will not allow that to happen. The moment we allow criminals to intimidate us into giving up even an inch of our freedom is the day that they can claim a major victory. And that day will never come. If anything, these attacks, especially the September 11th attacks, have brought us as Americans even closer. We've seen our country's bond and our country's friendship with other like-minded countries throughout the world grow even stronger. Now, images of September 11th attacks are forever etched in our mind's eye. The burning Twin Towers, absolutely colossal, then collapsing. The Pentagon, pierced in flames. The smoldering, charred crater in a Somerset County farmer's field. There's a part of us that just doesn't want to relive that nightmare. The wounds of that day just remain too powerful, even 15 years on. But we must remember the people who lost all and gave all that very day. And that is why we are here today, to remember them. We must reflect not on the carnage, but on the courage. Not on the terrorism, but on the heroism. Not on our vulnerability as a nation, but on our resilience as a nation and as a free people. Today we draw our inspiration from the heroes of 9/11, the passengers of Flight 93 who went to their deaths knowing that they prevented further disaster and loss of life. The tireless first responders who risked their lives on that day and in the agonizing days that followed. And the soldiers who quickly responded to strengthen our country's defenses and track down those who were responsible. Today, we remember them. We say a prayer for the departed heroes and the innocent victims of that day. May God continue to grant them eternal peace. We say a prayer for their families whose lives have been shattered. May God give them the strength to carry on. And most importantly, we say a prayer for peace, so that no others shall know the sorrow of the untimely loss of a loved one to terrorism. As I gaze out onto the field, all very neat rows of American flags, all 3,000 small, yet very, very mighty symbols of our great nation and the people who make it a beacon of liberty and freedom to the world. With that vision, I'm reminded of a poem in Flanders Field. Many of you may know it. It was written by Lieutenant Colonel John McCrae. He was a doctor in the Canadian Army, and he wrote these words while witnessing firsthand the horrors of the First World War. And I quote, "In Flanders fields, the poppies blow. Between the crosses, row on row, that mark our place, and in the sky, the larks still bravely singing fly, scarce heard amid the guns below. We are the dead. Short days ago, we lived, felt dawn, saw sunset glow, loved and were loved, and now we lie in Flanders fields. Take up your quarrel with the foe. To you, from failing hands, we throw the torch. Be yours to hold it high. If you break faith with us who die, we shall not sleep, though poppies grow in Flanders fields. Each perfectly positioned flag you see here today is a remembrance of someone, a life lost, a life unjustly cut short. 15 years ago, the sacred dead, represented by those flags, lived, they felt dawn, and they saw sunset glow. They loved, and they were loved. Though they are now just a memory, we hold each and every one dear. Thank you so very much to our Hanover Exchange Club to putting this event on today to honor our 9/11 heroes. Thank you to the Hanover area community, local businesses, volunteers, our first responders, all of our local community visitors who are here today. I'm sure there's people here from all over the region who pay respect to our 9/11 victims. I can't thank you enough for being here. On behalf of the House of Representatives and the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, I say thank you, God bless, and may God bless America today and every day.